Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Naomi from Pigeon Art and today we're going to be sewing. I have this fabric that I bought many years ago and it was dead stock fabric, so it was really cheap, but I haven't thought of anything I wanted to make with it up until now. I have this bad habit of keeping fabrics just because they're so beautiful and not wanting to cut into them. So today I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do either a full circle skirt or a half circle skirt. I haven't worked out whether there's enough fabric for a full circle skirt and still have full length. I like my skirts to go all the way down to the ground. This is how much fabric I have. It feels like a lot of fabric, but I think last time I pulled it out, I worked out that it wouldn't go all the way to the floor as a full circle skirt. So that's why I'm thinking it might have to be a half circle skirt. I just wanted to pause here and just appreciate just how beautiful this fabric is with the light hitting it. And we'll be back to normal scheduled content soon. That's 152 there. So basically 160 by 150 plus 60, 64.5. So let's call it 150 plus 60 is 215, 21, 210. Wonder if you can get two doing that. No, not that one, that way. Now this is where high school maths comes into play. If I do Pythagoras theorem, this would be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 210 squared plus 160 squared equals c squared. My phone's over there taking video footage, so let's grab my other phone. I can't do that kind of math in my head. So 264 centimeters, that one. If I do it that way and I divide that by 2, I can get 2 panels of 130. So this is my scribbles. So 160 that direction, and that direction's 210. And I was trying to work out if I can get 2 round panels like that into it. I did the Pythagoras theorem here. This means that this is 264, and therefore, if I do that, these will have a radius of 130. Pretty good for someone who hasn't done maths in 14 years. So I'm going to need to measure from my waist down to the floor to see how long I actually want it to be. If it's 130, well, it'll be less because obviously then I need to cut off these bits here. But if it's less than 130, we might be in luck. So I want it to be about my belly button height and not quite touching the ground, just here. Okay, 90 centimeters. That could work. So I could even put 2 pockets in, one on each side, because I'm going to have those seams on the side. Now the next thing I need to work out is my waist measurement. So I want it to be around my belly button, I think. I'm rounding up to 90. What you do to find the radius for that is 2 pi r circumference pi r squared the area, so you need 2 pi r. If you divide 90 by 2 pi, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? 90 divided by 2 divided by pi equals 14.32. Okay, so 14.32 times 2 times pi. 90. We got it. So let me show you my math again. My circumference was 90 centimeters. I divided 90 by 2, which gave me 45, and divided that by pi, which gave me not any of these ones, just ignore all that. It gives me 14.32. I'm going to round that up to 14.5, and that will be that distance from the corner to where I'm cutting. Because I'm doing this as a half circle skirt, I need to divide that I need to times that number by 2. Wait, is that right? This is a good time to say that I think there are places on the internet where you can just plug your numbers into a formula and it does it for you, but I'm going to try and work it out myself. That's going to be one panel, that's going to be in one panel, and that needs to be my full circumference, right? So I think I need to times that 14.32 by 2. I'll probably just add a few centimeters because of seam allowance and all that sort of thing. Now, I'm hoping I will have enough here and here, which it won't be going all the way because it's, anyway. I hope I'll have enough of that to make some pockets so I can have 2 pockets in my skirt. All right, I think I know what I'm doing. So I don't need to fold this one over, but I probably will have to because of this lack of space in my studio. My thing's about to run out of battery, my gimbal, so I'm gonna get as much done as I can before it does. So I'm speeding through this because this fabric, as beautiful as it is so painful to work with. It was really shiny, so really slippery, but also so drapey. So anytime that I even touched it, it would completely ruin what I'd just done. Anyway, so you can see me struggling there. Too short. Okay, why are you too short? I can't understand how you could possibly be too short. I double checked. I need a mathematician in here. Luckily, I have Luke, next best thing. All right, I'm gonna be back. I need to put this on charge and I need to do some thinking. So I always feel like my sewing videos are always so chaotic. I spoke to Luke and looks like I did all the math correctly. What I didn't do was check that it was actually a rectangle, the piece of fabric I was working with. So yeah, it's all right. I had to cut it shorter at 100 and I was cutting it at 130 radius for the larger circle, and I ended up having to cut it at 124. So I've now cut both of them that size. So they're both here. I think I've got enough fabric to make a waistband out of these little bits. Whether I have enough fabrics for the pockets, that remains to be seen. Let's deal with the waistline first, and then I'll worry about the pockets because that's less important. Might be able to get one pocket out of the fabric. It's going to be big enough for my phone if I have this. Just have one pocket then, I suppose. Just need one that fits my phone. Now this isn't the same size as my phone, so I'll need to even add a little bit more. Something like that. It's just the right side. Maybe 8 inches. So I've put it on a setting that's good for stretch, which is the zigzag one. So that black one here, that's the the one I think I'm going to do. Otherwise, normal zigzag is fine too. I've just had my sewing machine serviced, so there are little bits of oil around. I'm trying to pick it up with, you know, a piece of cloth. I'm sewing the pockets onto the side seam. Okay, there's one done. So when we go to sew it, we'll sew it together like this. So down this aisle and then around the pocket and then down this aisle, this side. So the next thing to do is put right sides together. Oh, such stupid fabric. It'll be beautiful once it's done, but it's a pain to work with. Sorry, my microphone's not on, but I pinned that on off camera, pinned it all off camera, and I'm about to sew it. So, it took forever, but I've sewn the side seams and the pocket. I'm not sure if that pocket's going to stick around or not. It's just sitting funny, so I might get rid of it. But I have sewn the side seams. I'm going to add the waistband, that's what it's called. Doesn't look like I have any elastic left, but here's what I've worked out. One of these is actually wide enough to go around my stomach and add a bit of tightness. So maybe I don't need elastic. So I'm going to just do that. I'm just going to sew this together, short sides together. Just have to work out which way is the right way, right sides. It's so hard to tell. There is a right side and a wrong side, but I'm having trouble working out which one's which. So I'm going to sew along here. It's sewn together. Oh no. I'm gonna have a break. So, as it turns out, my microphone wasn't on here, but what I was trying to explain was that as the skirt pieces were wider than the waistband itself, and I didn't feel like gathering, I was trying to just pull the waistband so that it would be the same width as the skirt pieces. It turns out that was a bad idea. So I changed my mind and I ended up turning my machine to a normal straight stitch, and I worked out that with the current tension that it was on, I was able to gather it up. I just did one seam of gathering stitches and it gathered up as it was going. That gathered it up enough for me to use the original technique of just stretching a little bit the waistband, and that worked really well. So I'm going to need to stand right here because I can't find the receiver for my microphone, so I'm sorry about the audio in this one, but I've tried it on, happy with it. The pocket's probably a little bit low. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep the pocket or if I'm going to take it out, but I'm going to put it in my dress form overnight, and then I'll decide tomorrow if it's been long enough to cut the hem to the right length, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here I forgot to mention that because a circle skirt is cut on the bias, you do need to hang it up overnight so that the fabric can drop. The bias is stretchier and therefore more likely to drop more than the rest of the fabric. If you don't want an uneven hem around your skirt, that's what you want to do. Okay, little personal update from me. I just recently had laser eye surgery, hence the glasses. Feeling a lot better, but I am still sensitive to strong light. My studio, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple lights around, is not the best situation for me, but I'm okay with wearing my glasses and I'm not gonna stare at them straight into the light. I think I'm okay to keep going. This has been hanging. It's been hanging for actually over a week now, and it has dropped a little bit. I do want to wear this at a wedding in early May, so there's currently mid-April, so I'm trying to get this done. So I'm just unpicking the gathering stitches that it can see. I'm just going to work out how long I want this and then cut it all flat. So my vision is getting better all the time, but it does fluctuate, so sometimes it's better than others. It's very exciting though. After 17 odd years of wearing glasses, I'm finally going to be able to see far away and drive and go to the movies and walk into shops and not have to worry about putting glasses on to see where signs are. I'm going to try it on just to make sure it still works, still fits, and then we'll go from there. I'm sorry about the stuff on the ground. That is for a different video that I've also started but not finished. So it's pretty good. All it needs is like maybe some evening out. I don't even think it needs to come up that much. So I'm going to put it on the floor, folded, and anywhere that's a little bit longer than other bits, I'll just cut that nicely, because with this fabric you don't actually need, it won't fray. So I won't worry about doing a hem. I'm going to cut it as, what's the word? Bloody hell. Apparently laser eye surgery's just messed up with my brain. Can't even think of the word. How terrible is that? Neatly. I'm gonna cut it as neatly as possible. So it's not perfect. There is a lot of hem, and I think because it's a circle skirt, it's going to be a lot of overlap, so I don't think anyone's going to notice. I am going to, while it's not too bright out there, I'm going to go and get dressed and see if I can do some reveal shots for you. I'm really happy with this circle skirt. I think the fabric is so mesmerizing. Couldn't help myself, and I kept looking down at it because as the light hits it, I just find it really fluid and like water, I suppose. So I'm really happy with it. I'm looking forward to wearing it at the wedding soon. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload most Sundays with art, DIY and sewing videos, and I hope to see you then. Bye!